Good day, people. My name is Richard Powell, and welcome to Oxygen Not Included. Now, this game I picked up on Steam about a week or two ago, and I played through it quite a lot. There's a very steep learning curve to this game, I've got to say it. But we're going to start a new base, so I can do a Let's Play. So we get to choose our first three guys, and you want somebody with quite a lot of attributes going for them to start with. Construction's a good one, digging's a good one. You want to keep a look on the traits here as well. Obviously, interior decorator, they've got high expectations. But anyway, let's just get on with it and we'll talk about it as we get going. So that's not too bad. Mole hands, good digger. That's not so bad. Oh, skip past that other one. There you go, there he is. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad either. That'll do it, won't it? Amphibious. Happy days, let's embark. So yeah, like I said, there's a very steep learning curve to this game, but my god, it is an awesome game. An absolutely awesome game. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it there, zoom out, and we're going to have a little look at our surroundings here. We've got a nice bit of water there and there. The oxalite makes oxygen, although we can make our own oxygen later. We've got a lot of copper up here, so we're good for building. A lot of algae, which we turn into oxygen later. But the first thing we're going to need to do is to dig. So with it paused, I was going to set up a few little tasks for it to get on with there. Not going to dig out the oxalite because that's actually going to create oxygen all the time it's actually there. I'm definitely going to dig out this way and collect that algae. And happy days. Let's go. Unpause that. And I've selected up in the top left corner. You can select the speed of which you want to, run the game. So at this stage we can run it at full speed. Down the bottom here, we've got our kind of commands. So we want to build tiles. We want to make a bit of like a foundation for our buildings here. So we select tiles. Down here, it asks you what you want to make things out of. So you want to keep an eye on that and definitely build things out of the things you've got the most of. So sandstone, and you build a bit there. So the first thing up in the top left corner it's telling us is that we're going to need to build toilets for our little colony here. Connolly, like Billy Connolly? Colony. We're going to build some things here. And we're going to just deselect that little line there. Happy days. I'm going to need to get to that water, so I'm going to cancel that little block there and build some ladders, which I can't do because I haven't got the resources to do that just yet. Now up in the top right hand corner here it tells you basically what you've got. Now food is going to be a problem quite soon. So one of the very first things we're going to need to do is build a... we can do farming, but I think that's going to be later because we've got other things we need to do first. But we can collect plants. Yeah, see, look, edible 6,000 cows now, so that's good. But we're going to build our toilet over here. I don't want to destroy that. Alright. Okay, so let's build our first toilets over here. Plumbing. Outhouse. Let's build one there. Now, obviously, toilets aren't very aesthetically pleasing. Actually, cancel that. So we're going to make it a separate room. And we're going to put it... We're going to put a wall there. We don't need to do there, do we? And we're going to put a little door. Just there. Eventually we're going to build tiles, a flooring across the top there, so that's why I've stopped that there. Okay, that's the end of the first day, so they've automatically gone to sleep. This little thing here, Hatch, actually, he seems to eat all of your things that are lying on the floor. So these are potential resources that you're going to collect. So I need to build some storage containers. But what you can do is you can attack these guys, and when they wake up, they should go to work killing him. Now there are other creatures in the game. There's these fish called puffs, which are actually really useful because they kind of poo slime, and you can turn slime into algae, and then you can turn algae into oxygen. So that works out quite well. There you go. So look, they're going at him already. He's dead. They've gone back to sleep. There you go. Woke up to kill the hatch. Very good. Right, now I can build a ladder, because we're definitely going to want to get to some water. So if I build a ladder going down to there, I'm just going to slow this down a minute and give myself some time to think. Okay, so the oxalite that was making oxygen there is now gone. So I can perhaps build... Actually, I can build another outhouse in there, can't I? It's always good to have two of these, I thought, because they get blocked. And when they're fixing one toilet, if anybody needs to go, and you've only got one loo, then that's a problem. So I don't want to wall this off yet, because that's still giving us oxygen. So what I want to do is I want to build a wall there, make this a room. Okay, so let's pause it. One of the first things we're going to want to start doing is our research. And we've got stuff to do that now. So I'm going to build my research station over here. Yeah, let's put it there. And there. And that's going to need power. So we're going to need like a treadmill thing there. Maybe a couple of those. And battery storage is always a good thing to get in early, because these guys, these will generate power, but all the time they're not being used, there's no power being generated, obviously enough. So if we have batteries, that backs up the power. We connect it all up with electrical wires there. Happy days. Honk. And honk. We haven't got much in the resources. Look, we've got 123 of... That's the copper ore. So this game seems to encourage you to dig, dig, dig. You need those resources. You've got to keep it coming. But of course, the bigger your base is, the more oxygen you're going to need to produce. So, I mean, this game, it's incredibly detailed. It's incredibly in depth. The way you know, carries on. I mean, later on in the game as well, you know, there's lots of other things you can do, which make it just so addictive. And it's actually a really hard game. I know some people will probably disagree and say, nah, it's easy. But do you know what? It took me... I mean, like I say, I've had this game for a couple of weeks, and I'm still not very good at it, to be fair. But I absolutely love it. There you go. So now they've built the toilet. We can select that lot to be swept up, but they've got nowhere to actually put it at the moment, so we need some storage containers. Now storage containers, let's put them over here somewhere. Let's put them here. So we need quite a few. They do seem to get filled up pretty quick. So we're good, aren't we? That for the time being, we're on full speed. Let's give them some time to build that. Now later on in the game, as well as time passes by, you get given the opportunity to bring in more of these guys, more duplicants they're called, to carry out more tasks for you. But again, the more people you have, the more oxygen they require, and the more of a mess they create, and just the generally harder it gets. So as soon as that oxalite's gone, I shall finish off that wall there. We've got a research station on build. We've built our power generators now. That's good. They're generating electricity for us. That's not connected. I must have just run out of copper. There's lots of copper up there. There's a bit of copper here as well, actually. Let's mine that out if they can reach it. Can you reach that? No, unreachable. That's unreachable as well. So if we just temporarily put something there, they can get to that, which will give us the copper to build the electric wire, which means I can connect up... Ah, he's done it. Okay. No worries. That needs wire. Yeah, and so later on in the game, the more tech you have, the more electrical cables you have, the higher the demand is on the electrical cable, so then you have to upgrade everything to a higher wattage cable. Which, on my first playthrough, I didn't realise why I wasn't generating any oxygen anymore. Let's have a look at the overlay, actually. So this is quite a oxygen, yeah, 1,300 grams of oxygen there, and going down fairly slowly. It might be worth building one of these fellas, an algae deoxidizer. So that will turn algae into oxygen for us, which is always a good thing. And where to put it? See, it's... yeah, so there's much less oxygen over there than there is over here. So perhaps I should put my first algae deoxidizer over here somewhere. So I don't want it too far away from this because I still want oxygen getting over there, so... Alright, just stick it there. That also requires electrical cable. Like so. Okay, so they require food, as we see up here. Insufficient oxygen generation, so that's what that's going to do. Unrefrigerated food. So all this stuff that's on the floor is now beginning to spoil. Let's slow it down a bit. Food. We can build these microbe mushers, which create a very basic, horrible food substitute for the time being, which does give them diarrhea, which then, of course, creates pollution and contaminated oxygen and all of the nasty things that we don't want in our base. So he's going to be powered up. You can set priorities to buildings as well. So when he's built that, which will be in a second, you select it, and in here, no, is that the right one? All right, so prioritize here. So you can give that. Actually, we've got 31,000 now, so why is there a food shortage? We don't need that particularly high priority. The electrical cable's still being built for it. We're okay for the moment. Okay, right, so now these guys have built, and they need a task. So we open research, and farming will give us the ability to grow our own food. So that's always the first thing that I would say to research. Yeah. And then this little thing here, the research station, builds this stuff here. And you put on the continuously fabricate that particle there. I'm not sure what that is. What is that? It's research. Novice research. Okay. So that creates research, so that feeds that thing. And you have to basically fill up this bar here. You need 20 lots of that research to open up the algae terrarium, compost heap, which you can build next to your toilets, which kills the polluted, breaks down polluted dirt and makes it into fertilizer, which you can use for your planter boxes, so you can grow crops. So already this game's becoming a lot more detailed. Now I'm just gonna, oh for God's sake, let's cancel that. I'm going to build, make this look a bit better. I'm not going to block that off just yet because it's still producing oxygen for us. That's there. That oxygen oxalite's gone, so that can be there. Storage boxes, did we build them? Yes, we did. Now we have to, I'm going to pause it for a second, because we have to tell these storage boxes exactly what we want to go in these storage boxes. Now, first of all, I say select all, and then go down to organic, and deselect polluted dirt. Somebody said something about not to store slime in these things as well. do store slime in them because you need the slime to convert into algae. Right, so all, yeah, and I just need to concentrate. Organic, yeah, that's right. All and organic, and don't put polluted dirt in there. Same for him. And this. And this. Now they should now start picking up all of the stuff that's now on the floor, apart from the polluted dirt. Now if I'm wrong on this, guys, please comment and let me know exactly the right setup for those storage containers there. See, look, now they're picking up this stuff and throwing it in the storage compactors, storage container things there, compactors. Yep, yep. We've got a food thing. We don't need food just yet. We're good. We've got our research going. We've got a little bit of oxygen being made. We've got access to water. Now, we do need copper, which is up here, and we also need some kind of sleeping quarters for these guys, because they're going to start getting stressed. Stress is measured up here, so at the moment they're at 0%, but that, believe me, will not stay there. Now, we could mine out here and get the sandstone, bit of algae, not a lot, or we can go this way and get this copper, and a bit of dirt there, and a little bit of sandstone. Don't want to break the oxalite because that's still making oxygen for a short time. There's a little bit there as well. So I'm going to go this way. And go that way. I'm going to stop there. And let's let them carry on with that. Speed up. Aha, so now this is lit up. We can go in here and choose our next family member. Now you don't get the opportunity to shuffle and choose on your when you're actually in the game, but I would go with someone. I've recently gone with a lot. When people get stressed, they have a response. They either break stuff or they throw up. Now, I used to go with the thrower-uppers because they create polluted water, contaminated water, which you can then turn into normal water. But somebody said that if you do that, it can stress everybody else out. But he's got diver's lungs, so he's going to require less oxygen. He was going to require more oxygen. And this guy is uncultured, so he's got a low expectation for decor, so he's not going to get stressed so quickly there. I'm going to go with this one. Mainly because of the lungs thing, he's got a low expectation. Welcome aboard. He's going to get straight on the treadmill. Now, what you can do at this stage, go into this tab at the top, Jobs, and you can select what you want each of your people to prioritise in. So, when they're highlighted in pink like that, they're better at that particular task, you see. So, for combat, I'm going to deselect that lot. He can stay kind of cooking. Well, we haven't got anything to cook at the moment, so we don't have to worry about that. Art, we haven't got any artists with us at the moment, so they're all as crap as each other. Composting, he's good at composting. He's got a little bit of shading. Research, we only really need one scientist, so, and they're all rubbish at it. Alright, we'll do it that way. Liquid cooled fan, I'm not sure what that is yet, I haven't come across that. But we'll leave that him, because he seems to be good at it. Power generation, it's good to have a few guys doing that, because power later on becomes a bit, well, it can become a bit low. Repairing, just leave it like that. Mopping, he's good at it. So you don't want everybody doing everything, otherwise literally nothing gets done. If you see what I mean. You have everybody's trying to do everything, so everyone's doing a half-assed job at everything, and everything doesn't get done. So if you have, you know, priorities for each guy, play to their attributes is what I would say as well. If they're good at something, leave them doing it. Yeah, harvesting. We're not growing food yet, but yeah, sweep. He's good at it, so he can do it. Builders, well, to be honest, we kind of want them all building. We want them all digging. And delivering. Yeah, he's good at that. Alright, let's see how that goes. We can always change that later if it's no good. They're getting straight on that treadmill. Storage compactors are slowly getting things put in them. Yeah, so these little trolley truck things on here signify that we've asked these things to be picked up. They disappear as things get picked up. And it's good just to every now and again do that. Okay, right, so now it looks like the oxalite has gone from there. So if I build a ceiling across there, can they reach that? Can't reach it. Oh, they will do when they get there. That's fine. No problem. They're going to get this bit of copper here, so... Yeah, now they're going to sleep on the floor, so we need to get these cots built, these beds. Now, there's... Some of them can be loud sleepers later on. Some of the guys can be snorers. So, it's good to leave a bit of space in between the cots, so you can build a wall with a door if you need to. See, these guys are really on that treadmill, which is good. They're keeping the power going. Have you finished your farming research? Not quite. 9 out of 20 there, so that's still doing. Still got 32 on the way of food, which is fine. We don't need that little bit of ladder there. Oh, there's a bit of food there. Look, there's a plant. So if I dig that out, will that fall? Probably. And there's some here as well, so we'll definitely have that. There he goes. He's put that straight away, is he? Oh no, it's there. Millwood seed. Millwood seed. We'll have all that collected up, please. So yeah, I mean, food that gets stored in these containers, over time, it spoils. So later on, you get the opportunity to do research, which gives you a refrigerator. So you can put things in the fridge and do that. So we're waiting, aren't we? Dig that out. Oh, he's built the cot already. See, they're good. This lot are good at the moment. I won't be saying that later on. So I like to leave a bit of space as well for decor later on. So we're not going to build too much of unnecessary stuff just yet. But we want space for a wall, space for maybe a plant, and so if I put that there and that there, when it comes to build a ceiling, I'll leave a little space at the top because they unlock art later, so they can create paintings to go above their beds, which really reduces their stress level. See, look, we're at 4% already. Stinky is slightly stressed. Okay. And then I think once I can dig all this out, I can create my food planters up here. Let's get rid of all of that. We don't need all that open there. I know all that crap already. The research centre's idle now, is it? Ah, so we... Oh no, not quite. I've got one more to go. So now this game is still in alpha mode as well. So you can... I picked this game up from Steam, and I think it cost about £15, $14.99, something like that. They've recently done an update to it as well, which makes temperature... They called it a thermal update, so it makes temperature a lot more of an issue later on. So you can see here the granite is at minus 35 degrees C, which is obviously very cold. You can build heaters and things later, but their actual living quarters is around 20 degrees, 21 degrees there, 25 over here, 20 up here. So we're fine at the moment. Alright, we've got... so we've done some research. We've got an algae terrarium which recycles carbon dioxide into small amounts of oxygen. Now later on you'll find that carbon dioxide sinks and oxygen rises above it. These little things here create it. And so it's good to have a couple of terrariums there. This space here I'll have a compost heap eventually, which will create compost fertiliser from the toilets, which then I can use that in my plants. Good job, guys. So I need one more cot, don't I? I don't want to block that off yet. I don't want to bash that through just yet. I could go this way, but I want my massage tables and things here later. I suppose I could dig it out. That won't hurt, will it? Okay. And how are we doing for oxygen at the moment? It's, so yeah, see, that's creating a lot of unbreathable oxygen there. So we need these algae terrariums to create oxygen from carbon dioxide. And that one there's producing tons of oxygen. It's a little bit thin over here. Now these things, the algae deoxidizers, they, let's have a look. I thought they take in algae and breathe out oxygen. I thought they took in water as well, but I could be thinking of these fellas. Yeah, using water, 300 grams, and using algae and emitting only 40 of oxygen. So they're soaking a lot of water for what they spit out there. So that just requires power. Let's pause that a second so I can read that. Breathable gas, that's oxygen. Yeah, algae deoxidizer max. So okay. So the maximum gas pressure has been reached. So I guess that when that happens, they stop producing oxygen because there's no space for anything to go. Oh, they are good. They dug that out already. All right, now so that's gone. So let's set that as a task to dig that out. That'll give us the seeds, which is good. And yeah, let's unpause that. Our storage containers are getting a bit fulled out now. Food's going down slightly. Nothing too bad. But no, that's what I was going to do. We need to set a new research up, don't we? Because we've done farming. Liquid piping is a good one because later on we're going to need to convert contaminated water into good water. So obviously we need the piping to do that, and it's also got the liquid pump in there as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Some people have gone for decor first because they find that stress is a problem, and it is. But we're going to go for liquid piping because what I've done in the past is I've built like you know, these tiles around the water like this to make it like a tank, and put a little door on the top, and it keeps it in one area, keeps it nice and, you know, uniformed. You can dig it out, make it square. I've got a little bit of water down here as well, so I'm thinking I could build a tank around here somewhere, big one, and cut all this away so it all flows into one big tank. And later on I need somewhere for the contaminated water to go. What's that? Steam? Geyser if you're American. Okay. I haven't come across them before. Oh, but we will do, and there's a lot of algae around there, and slime. Yeah, so that will definitely come in handy. Not quite sure what that's going to do. It's very hot in there, 97 degrees, so that could be a problem. Yeah, no doubt we'll come across that later. Okay, so the algae terrariums are now building, or making, some breathable gas for us, which is very kind of them. Thinking we need something here, and definitely something up here to make some oxygen for us. So let's just pause it before things run away out of control. We can now build food, which I don't know whether to put that there or there. I'm thinking over here. Right, let's not get distracted. Let's one thing at a time. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to build my food over here and put one of these oxygen people in with it. Like I say, you know, comment if you think I'm doing something wrong here or everything wrong here, because I love this game and I want to get good at it. I want to be able to, you know, be successful at it, because it's a very cool game. Planter box. I'm gonna have to dig all that out as well. You put lighting in here later on, which makes these things grow a little bit better. So we're going to need a whole... Well, that's not going to work, is it? We're going to need a whole shitload of these later. We probably won't have enough seed for everything. But if we put them down, then we can at least build them ready. Okay, that's got electricity already. Happy days. And we are going through it, aren't we? So I'm thinking that we need to build a couple of more of these fellas over here. And maybe another couple of batteries to go there. So the decor around here is going to be considerably lower than it would be. You can build art, like I said, later on once you've researched it. Okay, let's unlock. Let's unpause that. We've got some beds. We need 4 beds because we've got 4 guys. What refinement have we got now? Oh, we've got the compost heap, so we can now make fertiliser, which is what we want to do. For these guys, for the plants, I'm going to set them to dig out that lot there, and that. Probably not going to be able to reach that, are they? Yeah, I think they can. You just sit there, mate. You have something to eat. Okay, furniture. I'm going to need a bed there. Okay, I think we're fine. They're still generating electricity around here. He's getting the water. Things are moving on. That's awesome. Okay. I think we're okay for the moment. Let's just check this. And we've got power going everywhere. Temperature. So obviously, the brighter, the warmer. Thermal comfort. That's a new one. I didn't see that before. Thermal comfort. So it actually tells you which area they don't mind and which they do. Okay, liquid pumping. Yeah. So this is usually the time that I start thinking about this. But I'm still undecided what to do about that. That's a good question. Well, we've got another duplicant right now. So let's choose. So, dimensionally inept. Duplicant is incapable of visualizing an object in 3D space. Cannot perform build. So we can't build. But he's good at quite a lot of other things. Higher decor expectations. He's going to get stressed easy. He's a good digger, but not very bright. And doesn't do research, but that's fine because we've got a scientist. Well, we've got a researcher already. This guy is good at digging. He's got good lungs. So he's going to use less oxygen. So although that may seem like the choice to go with... Oh, yeah, see, now he's got high expectations, so he's going to get stressed. No, I'm going to go for him. Low expectations. There you go. Right, now let's pause this and plant some seeds. Have we got seeds? We have. Millwood seeds. We've got 20 of those. Let's go with the blossom seeds first. Plant that. Plant that. Now there's one little gripe about this game really that can... it's just one of the jobs that needs to be done, but it would be nice if you could just, select the whole lot and do a group allocation of all this stuff in exactly the same way with the compactors as well. It'd be good if you could just drag the whole lot, select the whole lot, tell it what you want it to all do, as well as doing it individually like this. Have we done those two already? No. Why aren't they lit up then? Okay, we've done that one. Yeah, so no, that would be... Like I said, this game's still in alpha, so I'm sure the guys that are developing this are going to iron out any little problems. There's a little message at the beginning of the game that says, this game's in alpha, so you will experience annoying, funny, irritating little bugs that, they need to iron out. But I mean, this game's been in alpha for a long time now. I mean, like I say, I've had this probably a few weeks now. And, they're still building it. Okay. Now, let's build a ceiling along there. do that. And we can put a door in there to keep it... Oh, we can't because we haven't got raw metal. We haven't got very much of that at all, so we need to do some digging. If I put a ladder there, we can get that copper, which is there. Right, so we get a cycle report, which says that we are generating 295 oxygen and removing 231, so we're on the limit there, really. We're only just making enough. Yeah, we're making tons of power. We're not wasting much, or any. Are we? Stress change, so they are, well, yeah, 5%. I think we're doing alright. You've probably seen something that I haven't seen in this base at this moment in time, but things change pretty quickly. So they need to be digging out this, really. It's still good for water. And we need to do a bit more research, don't we? So we've now got liquid piping research. We've got gas, we've got fine dining. I mean, all of these things we're going to need at some point. But interior decoration is going to be one of the things, because we've got the lighting for the plants there, we've got art, and we've got sculpturing as well, so we can make them a little less stressed later on. Let's run this game at full speed for the moment. How are we doing for oxygen? See, now he's producing oxygen, this is doing its job in here. Not so hot up here. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have to build some sort of oxygen generation upstairs. And we can't because we're missing the metal. You guys need to get a fucking shifty on, because we need some metal, we need some oxygen upstairs. Yeah, that's just telling us that we've built the planter boxes. Good. Plumbing. So this is the liquid pump. So it might be an idea to put one of these liquid pumps just set up ready, because we're going to be using it later. Stick him in there. Not priority. But he is going to be definitely going to be needed later on. So I'm just thinking about the piping now and the tiles coming down here. Let's not worry about that just yet. So let's do this. Let's just put that in place there, just for the time being, and get them to dig this out. I mean, they won't be able to reach it, but I'm going to have to build a ladder or something to do that. See, that's the sort of size tank I'm thinking of there to hold the water. Still thinking about this bit of water down here as well. So you can build these ladders sideways as well, which is a nice little touch when it comes to reaching hard to reach places. You don't have to build floors particularly. So now they should be able to reach everything. It's not priority. They're going to do it anyway. Fair enough. This really needs to be upped, because that's got some resources in there. Nice. 5 people, 4 beds. We're going to need to build another bed. So that can definitely go in on the R. That'd be fine. Oh, well, so where we've been digging here, this sand has fallen down and entombed that little lot there. So let's, as a priority, get that done. Get that cleared. So that's fine. We can put a little door on the front of there now to keep it all nice and contained. Happy days. Okay. Yeah, I was going to build an oxygen thing upstairs, wasn't I? Yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. But I've got a feeling that they're not going to like it, because it's not aesthetically pleasing. But neither is not being able to breathe, so let's wire that up. Now when you run wires around your base, just to tidy things up, just follow the tiles, the ladders, keep it all hidden away. Now that's saying that it's not got any electricity. So these guys need to get on there. Let's just pause it, and just go into jobs and power. So yeah, we've got four of them in there doing that. This guy could. This is our newer duplicant, isn't it? So we could deselect some of this stuff that he's not particularly great at. Sweep's always a good thing. Deliver's always a good thing. Okay, and leave it like that. Free him up to do other jobs. So eventually I want to get a water purifier put in here. I want to get some toilets put in somewhere, because contaminated water is going to be a problem later. They will be producing that. So, well, I mean, that's about all the time I've got for this one, guys, anyway. So, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to save this. Yeah. And we'll carry on with that one later. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to carry on with this, and I shall see you in part 2. Bye-bye!